I have a question that I would like to ask you today. Have you became better or have you become bitter? Have you became better or have you become bitter? Are you a better person because of a certain obstacles that you've gone through in your life? We've all faced different trials in our life, whether they was our fault and whether some of it wasn't our fault. But I want you to be real with yourself and say, because of that situation, I became a better person. Or have you just straight up become a bitter person? I want you to think about it now. Somebody right now is thinking about the way they was raised. My mama, my daddy didn't do me right. Did you take that situation and said, I'm going to become a better person because of my situation? Or are you bitter because of that situation? Somebody right now was in a relationship and they chose to have a child by that man or by that woman. And that man or that woman didn't end up being who you thought they was. Did you take that situation and say, you know what? I'm not going to become bitter. I'm going to be a better person. And now I realize now that I have to make a better decision when it comes to the men and women in my life. Have you made it to saying, you know what, the next time that I have a child, it's going to be by my husband or by my wife? I want you to think about the situations that you're going through. Has it turned you better or bitter? What about the situations with your finances? What about what you're dealing with your finances now? Has that became you to turn better to say that, you know what? I need to do better about my money. I need to better save my money. I need to do better. It's not the money, it's me. Because what some of us have to realize, we can be making $100,000 a year. If you're not good with your money, you're just not good with your money. See, have you became one of those people that you came into a lump sum of money? And what you did, you gave away the money. And when the money was gone, everybody else was gone. And you became bitter instead of becoming better, saying, you know what? I'm going to learn my lesson and I'm going to do better by my money. See, somebody right now could very well be in a bitter situation because you can't get the house you want. You can't get the car you want. But have you ever turned that around and said, I'm not going to be bitter. I'm going to be better. I'm going to start paying on my bills on time. I'm going to start paying off bills so I can build up my credit, so I can get a house, so I can get a car. Have you ever thought about that instead of becoming bitter? Somebody could very well be in a marriage where they're going through a separation or they're going through a divorce. I want you to be real and say, have you become better because of that situation? Or have you become bitter because of that situation? Somebody right now is behind bars. I want you to think about the things that you did. Are you becoming better because of it? Or are you becoming bitter? See, when do you just be real and say, nobody made me go and rob. Nobody told me to sell the drugs. Nobody told me to act a fool. You did it on your own. Or have you ever just got real with yourself and said, I need to grow up from this situation and do better instead of being bitter in my situation? What could it be on today? What could you be going through on the day that has you bitter? Could it be your job that you're on? Could it be because you didn't get the promotion you wanted, the position you wanted? What has you bitter? Somebody could be bitter right now because they want a child. What is it that has you bitter? Could you be bitter because you don't have the house you want? You're not driving the car you want? Could you become bitter because you're not married yet? You don't have the business yet, or your business isn't going the way that you think it should go. So you become bitter because of it, not better. What is the different circumstances in your life that you could use that stuff to turn around and say, instead of me being bitter and me being down, I'm going to become better? Because understand this, the circumstances that we go through in life, a lot of stuff, it's just not about us, but it's always about helping somebody else become better too. I want you to think about it now. Different things that I've gone through in my life, it wasn't just about me, but it was about helping other people also become better in a situation. I want you to think about it now. Some lady dealt with a man who used to beat on her, and now it turned her bitter. And now she's to the point where she's saying she don't like men anymore. Now she wants the same sex. Have you ever thought about just turning that around and saying, you know what? I'm not going to let that situation allow me to become bitter. I'm going to become better. And I'm going to start helping other people out and telling them that it's a better way other than that way. What situation could you be going through in life that you can turn it around, and instead of being bitter, you can be better about it? It can be in your personal life, your spiritual life. What is areas in your life where you need to grow from those trials that you go through? Because see, we've all had to go through trials in our life. But don't you realize that those trials are there to strengthen us up? Those trials that we go through are to show us, when it's said and done, that God is who he says he is. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought sometimes when we deal and we go through these things, God is showing us and God is asking us the question, do we really trust him? Do we really need him? And instead of becoming bitter towards God, have you just ever turned that around and say, God, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to better depend on you. God, I need you. I want you to think about it on today. What is it right now, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through? And maybe you're not going through it anymore, but you're still bitter. See, you got some people right now. A woman has been divorced from her husband for over 20 something years. And that woman is still bitter behind it. You got some family members right now. They're not talking to somebody. They're not talking to each other because of some funeral arrangement that was made 5 years ago. People are not dealing with each other over silly stuff. And people are leaving this world left and right. And we're holding these grudges. We're holding this unforgiveness in our heart because instead of us becoming better through the situation, we straight up became bitter in the situation. Today is the day. Go to Christ. Because what is it that's holding you up? And anything that you're holding on to that, number one, could stop you from getting in the gate. What grudges are you holding on right now? Could you be mad at that man because he wasn't there for you and your child? What is it that got you angry? Could you be angry at the banker because you feel like he didn't give you the house or the car you wanted? People hold grudges and become bitter over many things that we need to let go. For somebody, it could be their supervisor on their job. Somebody could be mad right now because they feel like they didn't get the position that they wanted from that job. They didn't get their promotion on the job, so now they bitter. They didn't get the raise that they wanted, so now they walking around the job being bitter on the job instead of looking for ways to do better on the job. What is it in your life right now that you know you're bitter? You're a bitter person because of it. You're not better. You're bitter. Today is the day. Go to Christ. Seek Christ to become a better person and let that bitterness go. Let those grudges go. Let anything go that's not helping you grow. Let anything go that's not helping you grow. Let's go and seek and have a true relationship with God and say, God, I need you to help me let anything go that's not of you. Because people are holding on to things that their mama and daddy did to them, and their mama and daddy is dead and gone, and they're still holding on to their stuff. Still holding on to things that these people don't even know. People don't even know that they did this stuff to you. And some people are still holding on to situations and bitter. Some woman has been divorced from over 10 years, over 20 years now, and she's still bitter behind it. Somebody is still bitter behind somebody who cheated on them. These folks done moved on with their life, and you still bitter and mad. It's time to let that stuff go because it's not helping you grow. In circumstances, in situations that we go through in life, we're called to become better. Because when you realize a lot of things that we go through, it's not only to help us, but it's always to help somebody else. We're called to help other people become better too, not just you. So overlook your life And what could you be holding on today? It could be the fact that somebody could be mad at somebody because they didn't loan them any money. It could be somebody holding a grudge against somebody because they didn't come pick them up. People become bitter over certain situations, but that's not going to help you, and it's not going to help you get in the gate. So today is the day we need to let anything go that's not like him. And so we must go to Christ and say, Christ, I need your help to let this stuff grow. I need your help, Lord, so I can let this stuff go, because, Lord, I'm trying my best to grow. We're called to become better people, not bitter people. And the only way that you can do it, you must surrender to Christ so you can start living a life that's pleasing to him. And then when your eyes close, you know you'll be living with him. So I always remember my closing. Self-examination is the best examination, and Jesus Christ is Lord, and he's all we have. Have a great rest of the day.